Hi, thanks so much for joining in. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit. My name is Alex Matthew. With me is Mahima Vajrajani, and we'll take you through the next 1 hour of trade. By the way, this show gets you answers to all of your stock-related questions, so you can call us on the landline number at the bottom of your screen, or you can message us on the number on the top of the screen. Before we get into where the markets are, I do want to have a conversation with Mahima about 3 stocks that are in focus today. One of which is Avenue Supermarts. V2 Retail is the second one, and Bazaar Style is the third one. All stocks that she tracks very closely. And by the way, V2 Retail has given up quite a bit of the gains at the start. Yeah. All of this on the back of business updates. Why are they in focus, Mahima?
Right, so I'll start with V2 Retail. For sure, a strong quarter business update in terms of revenue growth as per what they guided. Store guidance also maintained very well. The same-store sales growth stood at around 5%. At normalized rate, it was at 10%. Majorly, it was impacted because Eid was shifted to the Q4 numbers, and sales per square feet stood at around 957 rupees and added 28 stores this quarter. Now, management has said that they're focusing on Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, entering into FY26 with strong tailwinds. Plus, when the management spoke to NDTV Profit, they also said that they might go ahead and raise funds if required, and might increase their store guidance as well. Wow, if the valuations are correct. So that was an interesting takeaway. And when asked that they've already done 51% this quarter, their guided range was 45 to 50% revenue. They said that they will beat the guidance of 45 to 50%. So the 2 takeaways from that conversation was
we had a disagreement about Bazaar Style.
Right.
Okay, by the way, the reason being is because Mahima focused on the same-store sales growth, or rather degrowth, you should call it, because it declined 3%. They added 22 stores during the quarter, and their revenue went up by as much as 38%. And I thought that the seasonality factor explained this, but then evidently the street is taking what you focused on into focus.
The same-store sales growth, and plus the margin picture, what JM Financial mentioned in their report, saying that they might see margin contraction on the back of this. But shifting focus to the primary markets, of course, not primary anymore. The stock just got listed. If you can pull up that Indogulf and see what the stock is doing. It's flat in trade as we speak, Indogulf Crop Sciences. But we're joined by the management, Sanjay Agrawal, Managing Director of Indogulf Crop Sciences, and Manoj Gupta, CFO of the company, joining us now. Welcome to both of you, gentlemen, and heartiest congratulations on the listing. Just wanted to get a sense, overall sense, as to now that your company is listed, what's the way ahead? What are the plans to grow the company? I'll take this up with you, Sanjay.
Yeah, good morning, friend. Yeah, good morning. So today we are quite excited, and thanks to all the investors who have shown trust in Indogulf. We are into food security, crop protection, nutrients and biologicals. A lot of things we have planned in the coming next 2-3 years especially, and biologicals and nutrients is the key focus area, and the brand expansion will be the most potential area which we are looking forward for our growth.
Okay, so that's with regards to the plans going ahead. I just want to also understand that Indogulf has a broad product portfolio and a significant distribution network as well. I mean, overall, just want to get a sense, Sanjay, as to what the detailed strategy is in terms of gaining market share, plus in terms of key product segments, that is your crop protection, nutrients, biologicals, etc., both domestically as well as internationally. Wanted to get a sense as to what's the plan that you've laid out for the next 3 to 5 odd years, the specific new products and geographies that you'll be prioritizing in terms of growth going ahead.
Yeah, so new products had been a trajectory of Indogulf, and every year we keep launching 10 to 12 new products. So we are into 3 segments: crop protection, biologicals and nutrients. In all these 3 segments, we add new products every year, and that the same plan we have for this year as well, the coming year and coming years. So we have few patent products also in the pipeline. maybe FY26, FY27, we will be adding them to our product basket. With respect to geographies, we are pan-India and we are working on 34 countries. In future, we have strong plans for Vietnam, for Ecuador, also for Mexico, and we are looking forward for expanding in the domestic market. We have recently added one more company with the name of Abhiprakash Globus Private Limited, which is a marketing company and it is a wholly subsidiary of Indogulf Crop Sciences. It's a strategic decision to increase the reach amongst the Indian geographies with a separate team, with a separate brand and a separate channel partners.
Okay. Manoj, I'm coming to you on this next one. I'm just trying to get a sense. Of course, the fresh issue amount is 160 crore rupees. I see that 34 crore rupees of that will be utilized for paying of outstanding borrowings and capital expenditure of 14 crore rupees. I'm just trying to understand what the utilization for capital expenditure will be. Will that be done in this financial year itself? And also, where does that debt position go to by the end of the year? Will you have to... so how are you going to fund that capex beyond this?
Good morning, friend. Actually, this, as you told, that capex we are doing for one DF plant we are putting, that is around 14 crores. And debt is definitely it will come down as we are already paying 34 crores, and we are another money is coming from our reserves and profits. So we are bringing this to which is at the December end it was 206, and now it will be lending around 130 to 140 crores. We have the good plans in the coming year, and as you asked that for the period, we are expecting that till December this plant will be ready, and we will be completing this plant and it will be operational.
Sanjay ji, also based on the space that you operate in, and this is just trying to get a sense of how this financial year will be, the initial sense is that the distribution of the rainfall so far in the monsoon season has been good, and so if that continues to be the case, one would assume that Rabi sowing is going to be good as well, or rather Rabi harvest will be good. You have the Kharif sowing also that is good. So from that perspective, what is the outlook on the revenue going forward?
So overall, the monsoons are quite promising. There were some challenges in inventory, but this year looks to be quite optimistic about the demand also. And definitely the revenues we have already, we cannot give any figures, but yes, they will be quite high, and we are aligned. The quarter one results will be coming in month of August, and they will reflect our performance, and we are going aligned with what we have planned. It will be a great year.
Right, on that note, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and wish you all the best. All right, let's take you through.
Thank you.
Let's take you through what's happening with the rest of the market. By the way, you have gains of about 0.4% for the benchmark Nifty 50, trading above 25,500 and comfortably so. It's let's see where the contribution is coming from very quickly. HDFC Bank, which was a laggard in trade yesterday and one of the biggest contributors on the downside, is up and about in trade today. Infi, as well as the IT pack as a whole, is doing reasonably well, gaining about 0.5%. Remember, yesterday it was one of the top gainers at one point, and then it lost out all of that ground. It's holding for now. As we head into this program, let me introduce you the experts today. We've got Neerav Ashar, who's the head of research at Latin Manhalal, as well as Kush Bora, founder of kushbora.com. Kush, at the start, let me ask you very quickly what your strategy is today. It's weekly expiry day, the first of quite a few this month. What is the strategy that you're employing today?
Hi, Alex. Good morning. Hi, Neerav. We initiated a buy call on the Nifty, from the expiry perspective today. The target's been hit. We just closed that out. So now it's a wait and watch, because 25,500 put has seen a massive addition. But on the same flip side, you've seen 25,600 call also add up. bias remains positive. Yesterday in the closing show as well, I mentioned that even though the markets were down, the VIX didn't really spike up as much, and PCR was already close to oversold territories. So buy, on dips remains the favored theme, and that continues. For today, I think we could go ahead and test 25,600, but the upside will be capped basis the expiry. But other than that, I think we are looking at 25,750, 25,900 as the targets for the coming weeks.
Okay, so that's with regards to where the Nifty 50 stands. Let's take our first question. Sanyam Babbar is writing in and wants to know about Hindustan Construction. He's bought 9,000 odd shares at 55.23 a piece, so at elevated levels for sure. The stock is currently trading at 30 rupees and wants to know as to what he should do with this holding. Nirav, hi, a very good morning to you. I'll come to you on this one. What should Sanyam do?
Well, good morning and thank you for the invite. I think Hindustan Construction fundamentally, Hindustan Construction Company, as far as the fundamentals go, I think as far as the execution is concerned, they've got a good track record of execution. They have been working on some very complex projects and successfully delivered them. And they have expertise in civil construction, of course, and in nuclear power plants and hydro power plants, etc. But I think it will require a lot of patience on behalf of the investor. I think it's better to switch to some other better quality infrastructure names.
So just a few of those, Nirav?
I think he could opt for an L&T or an Afcons or something on those lines.
Afcons at this stage is a better pick than HCC. All right, let's go to our first caller of the day. We've got Varshini calling us from Andhra Pradesh. Varshini, very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Very good morning. Yes, regarding Birlasoft.
Okay.
So I have bought 1,200 shares at 442 price for short term. So shall I retain or sell? What is the status of Birla?
Yeah. When did you buy the stock?
Just a few days back, 1 week back.
Okay. And when you bought it, what was the time frame that you had in mind?
Oh, so for 1 month.
Just for 1 month. Okay. Any potential upside that you had in mind? Maybe 5% or 7% or something?
Just 5 to 10%.
5 to 10%. Okay. Yes. So that's So that's a very clear question. Then Kush, the question is for you. 442, which is pretty much where the stock is currently. What's the view on Birlasoft?
I think this is a good, entry point and a good stock that she's chosen. Chosen because while the large caps are consolidating, the small and the mid cap, IT stocks are doing well. Birlasoft is third on my pecking order after Coforge and Persistent. She could continue to hold this one. I'll give a stop loss close to the 425 mark. That's a good support zone. On the weekly setup, if you see for the 5 weeks, including this one, the stocks had a positive close and the volumes have also picked up. I think there's a fair bit of upside to be had on the stock. So 460 and then about 480 are your targets on the upside. And 425 is where you keep the stop loss. Continue to hold Birlasoft for a second target of 480.
Okay. Continue to hold Birlasoft with respect to where charts are concerned. All right. Our next question is from Vaishnavi, who's writing in from Chennai. She's bought Bharat Dynamics 65 shares at 1960 yesterday and wants to know the short-term target for this as well. Kush, I'll come to you on this one. What are the charts indicating?
Some consolidation, negative bias was there for the last 4 weeks, but this week, the stock seems to be consolidating with a positive bias now, some accumulation also coming in. So I would suggest a stop loss near the 1850 mark, continue to hold. And as you rightly said, the stock is very close to the buying price. So yes, not too much of a worry. And it's coming off, a negative consolidation phase. So on the upside, you have targets of 2020. Once that is taken out, a 2080 also comes into picture. Some momentum could be missing because of how the stocks have run in the past. But after this brief phase of consolidation, I think this is a good entry point. So continue to hold BDL.
Continue to hold BDL is the view where charts are concerned. Okay. The next caller, Ajay, is calling in from Mumbai. Ajay, hi, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Yeah, hi, good morning. I have 100 shares of OneSource Specialty Pharma.
Okay.
I'm looking out for long term.
Okay.
So I want to know how the prospect of this company. It's a CDMO player.
Okay, got your question, Ajay. I'll take this up with Nirav. Nirav, not sure if you have a view on this one. What's the view like? And he's holding 100 odd shares. What should he do?
Well, I think it's better to shift to some quality players like say a Divi's Lab, which could be a better play in the CDMO space.
Okay. All right. So Divi's Lab is a better play. Let's go to the next question, and we've got Chanchal Nandwana. Apologies. Took me a little bit to get that name right. He's looking at Ambuja Cement for a period of 3 to 4 months. He hasn't bought yet, but he's wondering whether he should. Kush, on the charts, what's the view?
Not a bad idea at all to consider Ambuja Cement. In fact, the entire cement space has now started to turn a corner after, brief bit of consolidation. Ultratech also is a good pick, in this space. But yes, Ambuja Cements also has done fairly well, has closed above, some of the key resistance levels, the last one being 580. I think this momentum could continue. From a 3 to 4 month perspective, I think, a reasonable target on this one is 620. Once that is taken out, you're looking at the 655 as well. So continue to hold, keep a stop loss near the 560 mark.
Got it. All right. Standard disclaimer here, Ambuja Cements is part of the Adani Group, and so is NDTV Group, of which NDTV Profit, as you know, is a part. We've got Chandu calling us from Hyderabad. Hi Chandu, very good morning. How can we help you today?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead Chandu.
Yeah. So I bought a ABB India at average price of 5,060. Okay, 10 shares I bought it actually.
Okay.
I want to know the short term and long term view on this.
Okay. You want to know the short term and long term, but did you buy it based on the fundamentals or did you buy it based on the price action?
Yeah, both I see. Both. Yeah.
Okay. All right. The question is for you then, Nirav, since he's not really specified what his time frame is. On the fundamentals, would you hold at these levels? I think that order book has never been an issue. It's execution and valuations. Would you agree?
Well, it's always going to be expensive in terms of valuation because of the technology leadership. And I think this is a portfolio stock, and the advice is to hold and keep adding at all declines.
Okay, so that's with regards to where ABB stands. Add at all declines is the view that Nirav has given. All right, our next caller, Amit, is calling in from Dubai. Amit, hi. How can we help you today?
Hey, good morning. First of all, I was watching your show yesterday. I was very impressed that you guys are so sensitive that if a caller calls with our local language, Hindi, you are very flexible. And it was very interesting to see that you guys respond in Hindi. So that's a great job. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amit.
Quick one.
Yeah.
Quick one. So I have Bata. Crazy
Okay.
year. I've been holding for more than 15 to 18 months.
Yeah.
I cannot make sense of it, whether the consumption will pick up, whether there's PLI in footwear.
Yeah.
But I just do not know what to do with this stock because this is not doing anything at all, up, down, sideways. And I thought it's time for me to think about a switch.
Yeah.
So I want to know what's going on with this particular counter. Yeah.
Got your question, Amit, and I understand what you're trying to say. And I'll take this up with Nirav. Nirav, we've seen one side there is Bata, which has not done anything per se in FY25, and that's why that's not reflective in the stock as well. But there are other footwear companies that are doing fairly well as compared to where Bata is. What's your view like? Should he book his losses right now in Bata, or should he continue to hold to see some further upside?
No, I think the stock has been a rank underperformer in terms of performance, and I think the stock has been languishing. So it's better to shift to some better growth story. Something like a Metro Brands also can be considered by him.
You can look at, but okay. So let me ask you a slightly different question then, and this is from my own end. If you are looking to play that consumption theme, would it be in the footwear space, or would you look beyond that? Would you look at consumer durables?
Consumer durables, I think we did have a look at air conditioning companies. We did see a few stocks like Blue Star, Voltas, and we were specifically quite bullish even on Subros. And we like CG Consumer Care also. So these are some of the stocks which are looking quite good. And in the consumption space, of course, we like Titan, Trent, and we would also like to look at Avenue Supermarts, although it is in a correction mode at this point of time. But we feel the prospects can improve going forward.
So, but then quick answer, out of all of the stocks that you've described, where would you rank Metro?
Metro is just because he wants to be in that space, perhaps in that footwear space. I think that would be a better replacement over there.
I got it. Okay. No, but I'm saying if it was not for his question, would you suggest it?
Then I think we would go with some other sectors also. I think we could look at a Blue Star also. Sure. It's looking quite interesting in the commercial refrigeration space.
Got it. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. All right. We've got Niva, who's writing in from Chennai, asking about Sigachi Industries. And unfortunately, there was that terrible accident that took place, and the blast that took place. A lot of people lost their lives, and the stock has had a negative reaction to that because of the implications going forward as well. But the question is slightly longer term. Niva has bought at prices of 52 rupees and wondering whether to hold for the long term, that is 1 to 2 years. Can it bounce back is the question. Nirav, if you followed this and if you look at the company, what would you suggest?
Well, a very unfortunate incident which has taken place, and I think the scars will remain. And I think from a global perspective, whenever we talk to companies, they talk about the fact that if they want orders from global clients, etc., then there are certain parameters which have to be met. The first is zero defect, zero accidents, that is complete focus on industrial safety and best practices. So I think if such an incident has happened, I think definitely it may affect the order flow, etc. Of course, it's a reputational issue also and an industrial safety issue. So I think it's better to shift to some other alternative.
Okay, can you suggest an alternative in the same space, or what would you pick?
I think there could be, one can have a look at auto ancillary players. They're available at some of them are available at very, very attractive valuations. One can have a look at JT EKT or Munjal Showa or Jamna Auto, etc.
Okay. All right. Sanjay is calling us from New Delhi. And Sanjay, very good morning to you. Kya sawal hai
Very good morning to you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for taking my call.
Our pleasure.
And my call is on Indus Tower. I have some funds and wanted to put it for a shorter period. Is it the right time, or does it looks good to go for a Indus Tower at CMP, current market prices?
Okay. That's a good question. And you know what? Instead of going to Kush today, I'm going to go to Nirav, because on Heard on the Street, which viewers, I must point out to you, if you've not heard about Heard on the Street, it's a regular feature on India Market Open, which is NDTV Profit's morning show. At 8:45 every day, we tell you about stocks that are buzzing on account of chatter in the newsroom, or not newsroom, sorry, dealing rooms. And the chatter in the dealing room suggests that there could be, Nirav, a large buyback or a dividend payout by Indus Tower. So from that perspective, from a shorter term perspective, would you buy into this stock?
Well, we have recommended this stock at 375 levels during the previous Diwali peak festival. And I think the target for this is 475. So I think the stock is slowly progressing towards the target. Unfortunately, this stock, the fortunes are related to that of Vodafone Idea also. And of course, its linkages with Bharti Airtel. So I think the stock has faced certain headwinds on account of the association with Vodafone Idea. And I think that has been a setback as far as the stock is concerned. But now the stock is clearly ready to give a breakout from the current levels. So I think can expect something positive going forward.
Okay, can expect something positive going ahead. All right, so that's with regards to where Indus Tower stands. Our next caller, Arvind, is calling in from Uttar Pradesh. Arvind, hi, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Hi, good morning, ma'am. I do have the Aventel shares 398 shares at the price of 157.
Okay.
I want to know about the future of that company or technical analysis of that company, basically technical analysis of that company. And I'm planning to hold for 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years. But 3 to 5 years... Sorry?
To play the defense sector.
To play the defense theme. Okay, I got your question. 3 to 5 years technical aspect might be very difficult, but I take this up with Nirav quickly. Nirav, Avantel, is that the best way to play the defense theme?
Well, a lot of companies are coming out with a lot of strategies in the defense space, but I think he can shift to some better known names in the defense space. I think the best pick at this point of time would be Bharat Electronics. Alternatively, he could also have a look at companies like Data Patterns, Zen Technologies also.
All right, so the entire defense pack is buzzing in trade and has been in the recent past. And we're cooling off just a tad bit today, though. We have to slip into a very quick break. Do stay with us, Kush as well as Nirav, and we'll be back on the other side to take more questions. Do stay tuned.
That's huge. That is a biggie. It's out of there.
Gold Plus Clear Glass. पार हो या नियर, सब कुछ दिखे clear.
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what he said.
In certain areas, like for example, artillery guns and armored vehicles, or in some categories of missiles like the BrahMos and the Akash, we've come of age.
What Defense Secretary Sir said is 100% true, and today private industry can really increase their involvement in R&D.
I am very proud to say that we make, in our categories that we have been supplying to our defense forces, some of the best platforms in the world.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Hi, welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit, and this is the show that gets you answers to all of your stock-related questions. To that end, you can send us a message on the number at the top of the screen, or you can call us on the number at the bottom of the screen, as Sanjeevi from Chennai has done. Sanjeevi, very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Hi, good morning to everyone at the studio.
Good morning.
My question today was regarding SBI Cards.
Okay.
So this is a stock that I have been holding for the last 3 years, and I've been averaging it every now and then. So as you see, I have about 80 shares right now at a price of around 829.
Got it.
So my question is, to be honest, I've been running out of patience now, because for the last years, all I've been doing in this stock was downward averaging.
Yeah.
So is there any other sector or any other, that I can rotate into, maybe to look at better profits? Because, in the last 3 years, my returns aren't really that much.
Yeah, and you can't say that you haven't had enough patience with the stock if you've spent 3 years waiting for it to do well. I get the angst and I get the irritation, Sanjeevi. So let me ask this question to Nirav. Nirav, this shouldn't be a scenario where you waited for 3 years for the stock to go up, and just as you've decided to sell it, it goes up. So should he hold on? Is that the view? Or should he switch to something? Where are the better prospects? Perhaps, Sanjeev, I just want to confirm, do you want to stay in the financial space?
I would prefer to be in the financial space, because, again, there's been a lot of these rate cuts and all that happening.
Yes.
So if there's any other financial stock that I would, rather rotate into, that would be great.
Got it. Nirav, so that's the brief. He's looking to stay in the financial space, but move out of SBI Cards, which he's lost patience with.
Well, he can shift to some other names, some other quality names like L&T Finance Holdings, because L&T Finance Holdings has got exposure to the rural economy. They are one of the biggest financiers of two-wheelers. They have one of the biggest financiers of tractors in the country. So that will give a good rural exposure, and the benefit of the gains which accrue from the booming rural economy. At the same time, he can also have a look at Bajaj Housing Finance, where, of course, the housing finance prospects are looking quite good. And there's strong parentage also. So I think he could make some equal allocation between both these companies for his investments.
If I remember correctly, yesterday you had a note that was sent out by Goldman Sachs on SBI Cards. They downgraded the stock to neutral. What is the target price change that they had?
1,006 is what they've given as target price.
From?
I'll have to pull that up.
So I think they've cut it quite dramatically.
Yeah, what they're saying is that balanced risk reward post sharp valuation re-rating is something is what helping the case, and that's why they've downgraded to neutral. And credit cost and growth will be the focus, but near-term EPS growth will be impacted, and they've cut EPS estimates by almost 9.5% for FY26 and 7.5% for FY27. So that's
dramatic.
big. So that's dramatic. And they're also seeing delayed conversion of spends to interest-bearing loans as well. And these are the reasons as to why they have downgraded the counter.
Okay. All right. So we will take more of your questions, but before we do, this is an important story. It's an NDTV Profit exclusive, and it relates to advice that you might be getting or you might have gotten. Market regulator SEBI is intensifying its crackdown on stock manipulation and tips being offered by unregistered finfluencers via WhatsApp and Telegram channels. And we've got Charu joining in studio to tell you about this. Charu, it's a big story because a lot of people out there seeking advice, of course not on this platform, but on Telegram channels, on WhatsApp, they're looking to make a quick buck, and they get sucked into this.
So see, we all know that social media is the platform where we get to connect with the masses, but it is obviously being used to connect with, innocent retail investors who don't really know better. So what is happening here is that a lot of YouTube channels and Telegram channels sort of come to these investors, reach out to them on pretext of, getting very high interest or profits, and that is one of the major reasons why they get lured into these things. Currently, SEBI is investigating these issues. It's slightly concerned about the volume here, but it is already on its way to come out with an order in 3 to 4 of these cases, and is also in touch with the social media companies and tech companies like Telegram, YouTube, Meta and all to, sort of come out with a solution, and has also previously as well come out with several regulations. But since volume remains to be an issue, some individual orders are also on the track to come.
Important update. By the way, all of the individuals that give you advice on this platform are registered, and we give you the disclosures as well in the event that they need to be done. Charu, thanks so much for joining in, and I'm sure we'll come back to you when some of these actions get taken by the market regulator. All right, let's go to the next question, and we've got Satyan who's asking about MGL, which he's thinking of buying for the period of 1 to 3 months, so short term. Kush, sorry to keep you waiting. We've got several longer term questions, but this one is relatively shorter term. 1 to 3 months, would you buy?
First, let me start with the idea that, I don't really prefer these, the city gas distribution stocks because, they get this momentum and then one or the other news comes out and, the momentum quickly fizzles out. With that caveat, if I just look at the, near-term perspectives for MGL, I think, yes, you could consider, a relatively shorter term trade on this because there was a rising trend, channel. The stock has broken out above that, above the 1450, 1475 mark. The momentum could continue. You've had a golden crossover as well. So if you're considering from a 1 to 3 month perspective, I think 1600 and about 1660 are your targets on the upside. Support zone comes close to the 1425, 1430 zone. So keep a stop loss near that mark. But as I said, you might want to be a little nimble footed. If any ever news comes, you might want to exit a little quickly. So keep stop losses and trailing stop losses in place.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where MGL stands. Our next caller, Murli, is calling in from Bengaluru. Murli, hi, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today? Murli, hi, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost his line, but we do have his question. His question is basically on TBO Tech, and from what we know, he's a long-term investor for sure, and he's holding 300 odd shares at 1410 of this particular counter. Nirav, I'll come to you on this one. TBO Tech, one of the players in the tourism space. We've talked to a lot of analysts and everybody is very positive when it comes to the hospitality and tourism space. But do you think that this is the right counter to play the entire theme?
I think in the hospitality space, we have a lot of exciting plays which can be considered. So I think our preferred picks over there are, of course, Indian hotels, Taj GVK, which is looking very, very exciting. And we are also looking at a company called APJ Sumendra Park Hotels.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this next pair is an important one to talk about, NACL. And we've got Krishna Prasad, who's writing in from Hyderabad, who has bought 1,000 shares at a price of 158. And what a ride it has been. So can we pull up first, let's pull up the chart for NACL, perhaps over the last week or so. It's at upper circuit once again today, but if you look at the chart, you will notice, the 1 week chart if we possibly can, because you will notice that every day it's been stuck in an upper circuit and the move up has been very, very phenomenal, 27% up or so. This is on account of the acquisition of stake announced by Coromandel. Of course, the latest update is that it's gotten Competition Commission of India approval as well. And Krishna has been lucky enough to buy at a price of 158. He's looking for the long-term prospects though. Nirav, on the chart, not on the chart, sorry, on the fundamentals, would you hold on to this or would you book some profits at this stage? And what are the prospects for the long term?
Well, I prefer to hold on because I think the prospects for the entire fertilizer space is looking very, very exciting going forward. We have had a good start to the monsoons. And I think if you take into account all the fertilizer stocks, they've been rallying quite well in trade on expectations of better results going forward. And we are looking forward to a good Kharif season also. We are looking at the prospects of a good Rabi season going ahead.
Okay, so that's with regards to where NACL stands. The next question is from Vasu, who is writing in from Mumbai and wants to know if he can go ahead and book his losses for Shoppers Stop. He's saying it's been stagnant for a long time now. Kush, I'll come to you on this one. With regards to where fundamentals stand, retailers, small retailers especially, we've seen that V2 Retail, V-Mart, Bazaar, they've done fairly well, but Shoppers Stop is that one company that has not done well because they're not focusing on their own brands. It's the other brands that are not doing well for the counter. But with respect to where charts are concerned, do you think there's any steam left there, or should he book his losses?
So the silver lining for Shoppers Stop is that 475 has acted as a very strong support zone from March up until now. The stock has tested that 3 to 4 times and rebounded quite smartly. But the upside swing, the upside momentum is missing. The stock is now starting to inch higher and crossed the 20-day moving average, also struggling with the 50-day moving average near the 510 mark. I think a couple of closes above this could push the stock a little higher. Yes, it's not one of those high flyer stocks and hasn't really participated in the market upswing as well that started from March, April onwards. But you might just want to hold on to this for a little bit longer, with a stop loss near the 490, 495 mark, and start exiting close to the 525 and 540 zones. So maybe whatever losses he has, might just reduce a little bit because, as I said, the base formation is there. It's just the upside momentum that is missing for this one. So hold and start exiting as the stock moves closer to these higher levels.
Okay. We've got our next caller from Kolkata, and Zohaib is calling us. Zohaib, very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Hi, Alex. Good morning. So I hold 30 shares of Waaree Energies.
Okay.
So I bought it at 3,200 back in December 2024.
All right.
So for me, it was a very good, fundamentally good solar company. But since then, it has faced some losses. And with the tariffs thing going on, so I'm kind of skeptic about the growth of the company and how it could affect the revenue in the future. So I'm looking to hold it for 9 months to 10 months. So should I hold or should I sell?
Okay. So, but it's a fundamental view. Why just 9 to 10 months?
The thing is, the solar stocks actually are good, but then I'm kind of skeptic, like let's say in a 2 to 3 years perspective. So 9 to 10 months, I'm just experimenting.
Understood. Okay. So let me get you a fundamental view then. And Neerav, what's the opinion? So rightly so, we don't know how the trade negotiations are going to pan out. Chances are that we'll see a mini deal between the US and India sometime this week. That's what we're hearing from sources. But the real deal could take place in September or maybe after that. What are the prospects for Waaree at this stage? And should you hold for 9 to 10 months, maybe even beyond that?
Well, one thing which we need to take into account is that if you are into the renewable energy space, then you will require a lot of patience. And especially with respect to when you are building up a kind of a giga corridor where you will be manufacturing the solar photovoltaic modules and the glass, the cells, the wafers, the ingots, the polysilicon chips. So you are going to get the benefit of a lower operating cost cycle. You are going to get the benefit of backward integration. So I think that's going to play out very well as far as the margins are concerned. So this could be a very, very competitive player as far as the costs are concerned. And we could see an amazing growth in profitability, but patience will be required. So I would really urge him to hold on to his investments.
Okay. All right. We've got our next question on transformers and rectifiers. And this is a question from Tiruvallar Lingam, who's writing in from Gujarat, but who says that he's originally from Chennai. I would have guessed that from the name. But he's bought at levels of 471 and he's got 22 shares. He's looking to hold for the next 3 years. He's wondering whether to accumulate at the current price. A lot has happened in the transformers and in fact the T&D space as well, or that power sector as a whole. So would you suggest adding more to this, or are there better prospects, Neerav, on the fundamentals and valuations?
Well, everything is quite expensive in the T&D space. I think everything has run up. By virtue of its size, I think TRIL is a small player. Still, it needs to scale up in a big way going forward. We've got smaller players like transformers, rectifiers, or a Voltamp, etc. But if he wants to add something, I think he can look at GE Vernova, which is looking quite good. Hitachi Energy is also quite good, but it's run up quite a lot. It's looking way too expensive at this point of time now. And we have Siemens Energy, which is also trading on the premium side. So I think what he could do is maybe have a look at GE Vernova to add more stock over there.
I just want to clarify, if I remember correctly, we've discussed quite a few stocks already, Nirav, but I want to confirm in the CDMO space you had picked Divi's, right?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Let's take the next one.
Okay. Our next caller, Alex, is calling in from Kerala. Alex, hi. A very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Good morning. I have a query about the NMDC. In the mining space, the government's push towards this rare earth metals. Will it help NMDC to going forward? I also have Hindu Opera and Coal India in my mining stock basket. How this government's move will help these companies or any better other companies other than that?
Okay, got your question, Alex. I'll take this up with Nirav. Nirav, his question is on rare earth metals, but we also learned yesterday that they've cut their iron ore prices. But if we still take the overall price, it's still at a premium versus that of any imported steel price, right? So just want to get your sense on NMDC, and should he continue to hold?
Well, I think the prices of iron ore have been reduced, so that could be a negative in the short run. And at the same time, this rare earth mineral story is going to be a long haul one. So I think he can shift to something better, in the metal space. So I think he could probably consider an Alco or an Hindustan Copper.
Normally viewers, we tend to avoid taking questions on penny stocks. But Karthik from Hyderabad is written in saying that he's bought a very significant quantity, Kush, of Salazar Technology at a price of 11.5 rupees per share, and he's incurring a loss of over 40,000 rupees at this stage. And he's asking whether he should hold, sell or buy more. What advice would you give him?
So, Alex, I think this is one stock that had actually come into the limelight somewhere, late 2023, where it had a vertical rise from about 7 odd rupees all the way up until 30, 40, kind of levels. But from there on, it's just given way. Add-on is definitely not an option. Exit is the view. The only solace that I'm trying to find in this stock is that it's hit overheated or oversold territories, and might just rebound a bit from these levels, and perhaps could head to 8.5, even about 10 odd levels, and he could look at an exit there. But if his patience has run out, then it's not a bad idea to exit. Anyway, keep a strict stop loss near the 6.5 mark. The stock is in a massive downtrend, and as I said, add more is not an option. 6.57, if these levels are broken, you're better off exiting that stock. If it does rebound from here, 8.5 and 10 are your levels on the upside to exit.
Got it. All right. So that's a view on Salazar Techno. Generally, I would prefer to not take questions on penny stocks. So please bear that in mind and help me by not asking those questions. Pradeep is calling from Bengaluru. Pradeep, very good morning to you. And how can we help you today?
Very good morning to everybody. See, I'm having Markson's Pharma.
Okay.
200 shares bought at 116 rupees.
Okay.
So I wanted to know whether, because I have the profits I have more or less doubled my investment.
Yes.
So I wanted to know whether I should hold on to it for another 2 years, or should I book profit at this stage?
Okay, that's a good question. And would you also want to know if, how to deploy it, or would you be using the cash for a nice trip or something like that?
If any other good stocks are there for investment for another 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Pradeep. Let me ask you a question then. Nirav, on the fundamentals, Markson's Pharma, he's had a pretty good run. He's asking whether he should double down, whether he should hold on for another couple of years. What's the view?
Well, I think he should continue to hold the stock because the stock has given quite good returns, and the prospects seem to be improving. At least for the next couple of years, we can expect some good appreciation going forward.
Okay, so that's with regards to where Markson Pharma stands. The next question is from Shiva, who's writing in from Hyderabad and wants to know about the pump space. Wants to know if this is the right time to make an entry in something like a Shakti Pumps or Oswal Pumps. Oswal Pumps is a recently listed one, but Kush, Shakti Pumps, are the charts looking attractive enough?
Well, not really. The entire pack had seen some traction, but hasn't really seen a follow through. So even if you look at a Shakti Pump, 845, 850 zones, rebounded from there, but 1025 is where it gave way, consolidating sideways. Momentum indicators also pointing north. So I would wait and watch for a positive turn. If Shakti Pump is able to cross and close above the 975 mark, that's when perhaps some supply hangover might get done. The momentum indicators will also start pointing towards the higher side. So I would wait and watch. Right now the consolidation is with a negative bias, so I would just put these on wait and watch list and not add at the moment.
Okay, and your quick view on this, Nirav? Anything that you're liking from these two?
Well, I think we would like to keep a close watch on Oswal pumps, which is the recent listing, and maybe on correction we may start buying.
Okay, so that's with regards to where these pump company stands. Our next caller, Ajit, is calling in from Bengaluru. Ajit, hi, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a question on Gravita.
Yeah, good morning to all. I'm calling from Bengaluru. I'm actually holding a Gravita stock for the past 9 months. I'm holding 180 shares in 2228 price actually, and I entered this with a 1 year view, but I'm at loss of 15% now. So I need a view from you guys actually whether is it going, how it is going to be for the next 6 months time.
Okay, got your question, Ajit. I'll take this up with Kush. Kush, Gravita India, the next 6 months, how are the charts faring?
So there is a wedge formation, in Gravita India. The upper end of that band comes close to the 1925 mark. Now the stock has had a bit of a trouble closing, crossing above this, above the falling trend line for some time now. So I would hold on to this one because there are attempts at moving higher, but the momentum is missing. So 1925 is the level to watch for. As and when that is taken out, yes, the stock could see a spurt towards 2021 levels also. So continue to hold because there is an attempt, multiple attempts in fact at moving higher. Keep a stop loss near the 1725 mark. That's a strong support zone, and continue to hold Gravita India for a period of 6 months.
Okay, so pretty deep stop loss. Remember that that's the case as well, and also bear in mind what your risk appetite is and take a decision. We've got our next caller, Govind, who's calling us from Hyderabad. Govind, very good morning. How can we help you?
Yeah, very good morning, Alex sir, and Mahima and all of sir, panelists. Sir, actually, I have struck in IRFC, sir. For past 1 year, I have brought 5,000 shares.
Yeah.
Is it correctly come to my price or else book losses? Because I have continued follow up your NDTV, sir. Many panelists are given very good ideas, actually.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily striking me there, sir, last 1 year.
Yeah.
Is there any chance to come to my buy price or else any positive look for IRFC or else book losses, sir?
Let me ask. And I think you're seeing a loss because you bought significant quantity of IRFC. That is also had, even though the price is not too far away from the buy price. Let me go to Kush on this one. He's bought at levels of 157. The stock price is at 141. What are the chances that he will recover his cost or maybe even make a profit?
So, Alex, what's happening here is that, the stock is seeing accumulation, but, the follow through is missing. My suggestion is to continue holding on to IRFC. Again, I would like to give a slightly deeper stop loss. So 132 is the level where you put your stop loss. If you see, there have been weeks where the stock has seen an accumulation and moved higher, and the down moves have come on significantly lower volumes. So there isn't too much selling pressure that is coming in. But yes, there are some exits that can be seen at slightly higher levels. Right now, the stock is struggling to hold afloat above this 200-day moving average, which comes close to the 139, 140 zone. I think once in the clear of this, the stock could move higher. So I would suggest continue holding on. Momentum might be missing, but a step up for the stock every few weeks is a good thing, and accumulation is visible. So keep a stop loss at 132. Continue to hold.
Yes. Okay. It's time now for the rapid fire segment, which is 2 minutes where we throw as many questions as possible at Nirav and Kush. Kush, the first one's for you. It's on Linde India. 5 shares bought at levels of 8,520 by Preeti from Chennai. She's wondering whether to hold for 6 to 12 months. What's the view?
Exit.
Okay, the next question is on Akzo Nobel, and this person wants a short-term view on this. Kush, I'll come to you on this one. What are the charts indicating?
A sideways consolidation. If you have at lower levels, book profits and exit.
Okay, Yash, hopefully that answers your question. Aditya from Salem in Tamil Nadu wants to know about Lloyd's Metals Bought at levels of 1,349. He's got a perspective of at least a year. What's the view, Nirav?
Hold.
Sai Silks is the next counter. Hemant bought it at the levels of 121. The stock was up 10% yesterday. Kush, on the charts?
Hold. Keep a stop loss near the 155 mark.
Okay. We've got, okay, I'm not sure of this counter, unfortunately. All right. Infosys, interesting. Okay. Infosys is the question. Bought at levels of 1,419. Would you book profits or wait? Kush, what's the view?
Book profits.
Okay, Sriram is asking the next question on Axis Bank and wants to know if we can continue to hold or book losses. Nirav, your view?
Hold.
Okay, KFin Tech bought at levels of 1,044. Would you add more or would you hold for a period of 1 to 2 years? Raja wants to know. Nirav?
Hold.
Connex Microsystems is the next counter. The person has been holding since its IPO price. Should he continue to hold, Nirav, or book profits?
Hold.
Okay, we've got a question on gold and silver. Nirav, do you have a view at all?
Both of them are hold.
Okay, Connex Microsystems should we take or no? Let's take M&M Forgings. M&M Forgings bought at levels of 489. Gopika is asking, would you hold at these levels or accumulate more? Kush?
No, I would hold this one, stop loss at 350.
Okay, the question on gold and silver was from Johannesburg, which is why I thought that we should take it.
I'm just wondering if hold for sure is the view, but buy, is that a view? Nirav, do you think at these levels?
No.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Well,
It keeps becoming more and more dearer.
Yeah, well, there you have it. That's the last word. Thank you so much to the both of you for joining in, and pleasure having you as always. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Ask Profit. It's been a pleasure having you on this program. From Mahima and myself and the team that put the show together, thank you so much for watching. Do stay tuned. This is NDTV Profit.
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the